What's that sound? It is Marvel Studios roaring back to life with Deadpool and Wolverine. The question you have to ask yourself is Deadpool and Wolverine a good movie? Is it worth watching? Let's find out. Deadpool and Wolverine is the one and only movie that is releasing from Marvel Studios and Disney and whoever else in 2024. We are only getting one movie from them, and it is a doozy. It is Deadpool. It is Wolverine. It is the weight of the entire 20th Century Fox universe of Marvel characters being held up by Sean Levy and company in this movie, because this movie is a love letter to that era of Marvel superhero films, basically. I went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine. I went to a screening. Yes, here's my proof. I got the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket. It is impossible to eat popcorn out of, so go buy this if you want it at AMC. It's kind of cool looking. It's kind of weird. The tongue's kind of squishy. It's creepy, but that's the Deadpool and Wolverine popcorn bucket. As for the film itself, is it good? Yes. It is a home run for Marvel Studios. It is a buddy travel sort of irreverent comedy that is bombastic in tone, in action, in everything. It is a masterstroke by director Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and all the people involved in this film. Let's start off with just Sean Levy's direction, because that is what the weight of all of this film is on top of. He is fantastic as director. If you love his other films, if you love The Atom Project, if you love his episodes of Stranger Things, Free Guy, Real Steel, you will love Deadpool and Wolverine. It feels like a Sean Levy film. For people out there that go, oh, but Marvel, they take away all the director's hallmarks and everything. You have a hallmark-filled film of Sean Levy hallmarks here. The score, the soundtrack, the action, the direction of that action, all of it feels like him. And that is a great part of Deadpool and Wolverine. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, coming to Disney, under that umbrella. We were all terrified of the fact that, are they going to keep it R-rated? Are they going to neuter Deadpool? Well, if Deadpool shows up in an Avengers movie, maybe we'll get some jokes about him, you know, not being able to curse or whatever. But Deadpool and Wolverine is rated R. It is a bloody, vulgar, disgusting mess at points where there are bodies flying everywhere, body parts, blood, curse words, everything. There's so much just vulgarity in this film. It is beautiful to listen to and to watch. Do not take your kids to see this one. However, I know I'm going to get that question because it is a superhero movie. It is a Marvel movie. The way that they did this movie, there's going to be people that are going to be upset because it doesn't reinvent the wheel for Marvel Studios. It didn't need to do that, but if your kids don't see this one, they're not going to be missing a whole lot here. So they might know who Deadpool is, but for the people out there who are sensitive about their kids seeing stuff that is vulgar or bloody or whatever, you might want to look into this one before you go take them to see it. The rest of Deadpool and Wolverine, all of it is beautiful. It is shot on locations. The volume is nowhere to be seen. It is such a breath of fresh air, and I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I liked the Marvels. I liked Marvel's 2022-2023 output. I liked those movies, but they were a bit of an eyesore. The volume is sort of overused. It's overplayed out. Here, they're shot on locations. They look really nice. The cinematography is great. The action, the way that it's shot. There is a scene in the third act of this film that will remind you of Shang-Chi. It will remind you of Nobody. I don't want to say exactly what, but you can guess if you've seen both of those movies. There is a fight scene that goes on and on and on and on, and when you think it's over, it takes another turn and it keeps going. It is one of the best that Marvel has ever done. The soundtrack here, it feels a lot like Guardians of the Galaxy, but for earlier 90s and early 2000s music. If you grew up in that time like I did, you're going to recognize a lot about this soundtrack in Deadpool and Wolverine, and you are going to have a big, dumb grin on your face as you hear Glamorous by Fergie or Like a Prayer by Madonna. That's a big song in the movie. Outside of all of that, what are the sort of points that drag Deadpool and Wolverine down a bit? The villain, Cassandra Nova, played by Emma Corrin, she is good as a performance, but Cassandra just doesn't get a whole lot to work with here. She is Professor Xavier's twin sister from, you know, whatever universe, blah, 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 multiversal stuff. But just the weight of the whole plot, the weight of everything in this film, it sort of just kind of dampens down all of her motivations and everything to the point where she's just kind of, she's a baddie, she's there to be there. Not because she needs any, it's just weird. It's a strange sort of thing in the film that the villain is strong, she's powerful, but she's not. Matthew McFadden plays a TVA administrator, whoever. It's sort of the side villain of the story. Basically, what ends up happening in Deadpool and Wolverine, there's no spoilers here, don't worry, folks. This is from trailers. If you've seen trailers, you'll know that's what you've seen. Nothing outside of trailers here. But Deadpool has to go and find Wolverine to help save his own universe. That's the long and the short of it. That's all you're going to hear from me. As for all of the extra stuff, the cameos, all of that stuff, yes, there are cameos in the film. Yes, there are great action set pieces. The characters that are the cameo characters, without getting into any specifics, they get a lot more to work with here, actually. It's much more than just a cameo appearance from some of these people that play their roles. It is, they are a large portion of the plot, and they help move the plot along. So they do a great job. Hugh Jackman is huge and jacked, man. He is gigantic. He is amazing as Wolverine once again. Ryan Reynolds is fantastic as Deadpool. It feels like a sort of planes, trains, and automobiles. It's what Marvel does best. And that is take superheroes and put them in other genres. Take other movies and add superheroes to them. You take planes, trains, and automobiles, and you add Deadpool and Wolverine, and that's what you get with this movie. You take a buddy travel movie where it's two people that freaking hate each other, and you get Deadpool and Wolverine. That, at the heart of it, is what Deadpool and Wolverine is all about. It is these two characters trying to find themselves, trying to battle the wounds that they've felt through time and space over hundreds of years. And that is what Deadpool and Wolverine is all about. So yes, it is silly. Here's the stupid popcorn bucket. This is part of Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a big part of it, not the popcorn bucket itself, but the idea that this weird-looking popcorn bucket. But it is so much more than that. It is so much more. And if you are a fan of the Fox Marvel movies, if you're just stepping back in to Marvel because you've been disillusioned by the movies previous of this, you are in for a treat and a half with Deadpool and Wolverine. It is emotional. It is lovely. It is a love letter. It is bloody, disgusting, gory, vulgar, all of the above. And all of that coalesces into one of the best Marvel movies of recent memory. Probably the best Marvel movie since Avengers Endgame, if I'm being honest with myself, and I'm readjusting my previous sort of reviews of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the Marvels, all of that. I liked those movies. I really, really enjoyed them, but I can see their faults. Deadpool and Wolverine has some faults. The villain is a little bit weak. It drags a little tiny bit in the third act or going into the third act, but the film itself is fantastic. It will reignite your flame of loving Marvel Studios films. Deadpool and Wolverine releases in theaters this Friday. Go see it. Do not get spoiled. Go mute everything about this movie on social media after you watch this review. Go buy yourself a nice popcorn bucket. Fill it up with popcorn, even though it does suck to actually get popcorn out of this stupid thing. But go see Deadpool and Wolverine. Go check it out. And if you like this review and you want to see more reviews like this one, check out this playlist right here. It's got all of my movie reviews on it.